Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mig Alphanine. Now, if you want to skip this part, we have chapters in the video, so you can skip to the parts that you want to get to. All right. So there's two guys. They're sitting in a bar. One guy turns to the other. He says, "Hey, did you hear about Dave? Did you hear how Dave died?" Says, "No, Dave died? How'd that happen?" Says, "Well, he was driving down my street. He wasn't braking properly. He hit the pavement, car flipped over. Dave flies through the glass of the sunroof. Flies through my top window. Lands in my bedroom. He's laying on the floor covered in glass." The other guy looks, he says, "Whoa, that's a horrible way to die, man." Other man says, "No, he didn't die. He survived that." "What?" So he's laying on the floor. He's covered in glass. He reaches up. He grabs the big dresser, tries to pull himself up, pulls the dresser down. The dresser crushes him, breaks all of Dave's bones. Other man looks at him and says, "Whoa, oh my God, bro. That's a horrible way to die." Original man says, No, he didn't die. He survived that." "What?" Says, "Yeah, so made his way down the stairs to the kitchen. Reaches up to pull himself up, accidentally grabs a pot of boiling water, pulls it down on himself, burns off almost all his skin." Other man says, "Now that is a horrible way to die." Original guy says, No. He survived that." He says, then he crawls over across the kitchen and he reaches up to grab the light switch, pulls it right out the wall. Well, water and electricity, they don't go together. 10,000 volts goes right through him. Other man says, "Whoa, that's insane. That's an unbelievable way to die." Original guy says, No. He survived that." So the guy says, "Well, then how did he die?" Original guy says, "I shot him." "You shot him?" He says, "Yeah, he was wrecking my house." Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now let's get to some crypto news. We're going to start here with a little article from coingate.com. Hope you all feeling good, doing good out there. Appreciate you. And it's titled, XRP Lawsuit, Will SEC File for Reconsideration of Summary Judgment? The slippery snakes that they are. I wouldn't put, nothing surprises me with them. I don't think that anything they do that they're going to do is going to bring them closer to victory. It's just too much against them. Too much. They're one rogue organization that is representing a bunch of shadowy other rogue organizations and entities. We've seen what was going on with the FTX thing and all the meetings between, allegedly, this is what they say, between Gensler and Bankman. And now Gensler says, "Well, I didn't know. I didn't know he was corrupt." But you sat in all of these meetings with this individual, come on now, but took no action against him. But then we also saw the connections of how FTX was paying a lot of, allegedly, this is what the lawyers say, was paying a lot of money to a lot of politicians. Then we see how the politicians took a light hand. They were very light-handed with that individual. So we know that the possibility of corruption is very high. And I just say that just to say it in the most light way possible. So we know that just based on the vermin that the SEC is, that they're capable of anything. Do I think it's going to help them win? Absolutely not. The banks are behind us. A lot of other powers are behind us. The banks are ready to hand over that money. I don't see us losing. I don't see us taking a step back. You're literally going to have to beat us. Simple as that. You're literally going to have to beat us for me to actually acquiesce to that. Simple as that. Other than that, we're winning. We're going to continue to win. We're going to continue to dominate. We're going to operate with a winner's mind state. I'm going to keep my shield high, just like all the other Spartans are. Simple as that. We're here to win. We're not here to take a loss. We don't work with that mentality. That's why just in life, we've been winning so much. We outwork everyone else. We outthink everyone else based on hard work. And we don't take a step back. We don't show cowardice in the face of the enemy either. That's another thing. It's another reason why they hate the XRP army and any holders of bank coins, XLM and such, because we don't back down. They don't like that. So let's just read this little tidbit here. My apologies, everybody. I'm going to give you a few thoughts from here from time to time. Okay, you know. Attorney Jeremy Hogan, one of our people. Boom, boom, boom. Soldiers. Spartans, what is your profession? Yeah. Oh, I love that scene. I need to get a spear just to do that from time to time. That's not a joke. I really need to get a spear. I do what I want. I'm a rebel. I do what I want. And right now, I'm here and hoping to flip the table over on the SEC. Yeah. I would love that victory. Oh, you don't understand. I love victory. Attorney Jeremy Hogan revealed whether the SEC will file for reconsideration. They have to file. What's the matter, SEC? I thought things were going your way. Oh, it's not. Continue to tell. SEC will file for reconsideration of the summary judgment before appealing it in the XRP lawsuit. Okay, let's read a little bit about this. The ruling in the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission versus Ripple lawsuit is awaited and is witnessing different kinds of speculative outcomes. However, both parties have filed the final brief seeking summary judgment in their favor. Meanwhile, an attorney following the XRP lawsuit has revealed what might be the next move for the SEC. SEC stands for corruption. I mean, allegedly. SEC taking a loss in XRP lawsuit, question mark? Who wrote this article? Can you put a smiley face after that? Can you put a... Wait. I have to go a little extra. You understand? Because if you acquiesce to the smiley face, that means I might get a little bit more out of you. You know this is how deal making goes, right? I throw out that number and you just bite. I know that there could be a bigger number gotten out of you. But I held back a couple cards. This is how negotiations go. You do understand it, right? I got a couple extra cards, a couple aces up my sleeve. So I throw out an extra here as a bonus, right? Of some kind of thing that's beneficial to you. I got a bunch of them, right? That's how deals go. That's how partnerships go. And then I up that price a little bit more. So I got to do that here. So put a smiley face. This is written by Ashish Kumar. Put a smiley face. Give me one of those muscle things and put some money emojis after that. Oh yeah. And then end it with one rocket ship. Oh yeah. Then you're cooking. Anyway, I'm feeling good. I was laid up. I was sick before. Oh, I'm feeling so much better. Thank you for everybody out there, you know, with your well wishes and things like that. I appreciate it 100%. Thank you. Let's go here. So it says, Attorney Jeremy Hogan replied to a user's query regarding the XRP lawsuit. A user asked whether SEC will file reconsideration of the summary judgment before appealing it. Hogan stated that the commission could move for reconsideration ahead. He added that, however, he doubted the SEC. They just put doubt. I think that was like a mistype. He doubted the SEC would file an appeal after a loss. It looks too dangerous for now. Hogan stated that if the SEC loses on appeal, then it will become the controlling case authority. This can lead to the SEC losing the case in the Second Circuit. Hogan believes that the SEC won't risk this, as it would start a smart action. Oh, sorry about that. As it would be a smart action to take loose here or loss here. Is it loose? What? I'm trying to give you a pass, Mr. Writer. I'm trying to give you a pass here. Is that loose? That it would be a smart action to take loose here? I'm assuming that means take a loss. However, the commission can then focus on exchanges and fraud happening in the crypto market. Earlier, CoinGate, I wish I knew the proper wording that the writer is trying to what they're trying to convey there. Earlier, CoinGate reported that after failing to prevent and take action against SBF, so they're looking to change focus. That's why I always thought, I don't think, even though they're going to battle because they have a facade to maintain, I think they're going to lose this case. That's how I feel. I personally feel that way. I'm not a lawyer, of course. This is not financial advice. I feel like they're going to lose. And when they lose, I also feel, just my humble opinion based on my research, that the bank coins are taken off. There's a lot of suspicious activity. Oh my goodness. If you only knew. I was laid up. I had a lot of time to research. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I saw a lot of things that are suspicious in a good way. Like behind the scenes types of things getting set up, new corridors, banks getting involved in certain areas look suspicious. A lot of activity. I'll tell you what. Well, we'll get into that another time, but you probably have already seen it. A lot of you are great researchers already, so you probably already have seen exactly what I saw. It says, as of now, Ripple and the SEC have asked District Judge Annalisa Torres not to send the XRP lawsuit to trial and give a ruling in their favor. Yeah, here we go, baby. They said, like I said, they said by February or March, and I've heard that iterated a few times now. The Cardano man, I spoke about this individual in one of the recent videos. That's what I was talking about. The blockchain head that's attacking everybody. This individual got everybody hyped. Apparently, I saw 1,000 videos, articles written about this December 15th. Why would you take information from your enemy? I hate to say it, but that individual, he's bitter about every blockchain that's doing better than his. Pay attention. And they don't even talk about him. So he'll stoop to the lowest point to even argue with holders of the protocol. That's how bitter he is. Like I said, if your darkness outweighs your light, no matter how brilliant you are, it won't matter. You'll be like a star, a tiny star in space. You have some light, but it'll never be seen. That's what he reminds me of. First, he battled with Hedera for no reason. He was hating on HBAR for so long. For what? Concentrate on your project. You're downward minded, sir. Then he was arguing with just random people all over the place. Instead of focusing, he wants to be a superstar. He's got a podcast. He's doing all these interviews. Concentrate on your project. Ripple doesn't have that problem. Ripple is focused. They're constantly bringing in partnerships. Then he says things that make no sense. That's why David Schwartz had to check him. David Schwartz G-checked him like today or yesterday. And he said, you may want to rethink what you said. This is after Haas. That's what I'm going to call him, Haas. Hoskinson, Charles Hoskinson. I'm going to call him Haas. This is after Haas said XRP has no value. It has no utility or is useless, something like that. He said he was very negative about XRP. That's just a hurt person trying to hurt people. That's all it is. For a lot of times, people said Cardano was a scam coin, a fraud coin, a dead project. Check it. And he's hurt by that. He doesn't have control over his emotions. So he says things like that because he knows that it could possibly be injurious to people that actually have a love for XRP. And he's wrong. You're wrong. We're not those type of people. We're well controlled, well disciplined, intelligent. A lot of us are older. And if we're not older, we're wise. Even the young ones, the youth of the XRP army are wise. We're well in control and strategic, but we're also warriors, which is why you're not going to get a lot of yes men out of us. He's used to the yes men crowd. We're not yes men over here. We're rebels to the core with a cause. No one controls us. There's no leader here. And yeah, we will challenge you. Yes, we will. We challenge each other, but we're used to it. You're not a Spartan, Haas. So you're not used to it. You got all hurt and in your feelings. Look at him, emotional, loaded Lux. A loaded Lux voice. Look at him, emotional. You're very emotional. And you know what that makes me? If I was a holder of ADA, and I'm not. But if I was a holder of ADA, I'd be concerned. How many partnerships have you chased away with that attitude? There's no way. Listen, I've dealt with a lot of high-end individuals in a lot of different, I haven't been limited because I didn't start off in crypto. I've been in a lot of industries around a lot of people that are powerful. And let me tell you something, they don't like individuals and they don't do partnership with individuals who have, they talk a lot of trash, you're arrogant, you're ignorant, you're overly emotional, which leads to irrational actions. How many partnerships have you chased off? So anyway, that's enough about Haas, no need to really, because that was at the end of this article, I just figured I'd just put that out there. All the best to Haas because he needs development. He definitely needs some development. Needs some love in his life. Holy smokes. You need some satisfaction and some contentment, some love, things like that. And possibly do some combat and get that tension off of you. People that do wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, things like that, yoga, even do some yoga. And calm down, bro. Calm down. You got it bad, man. You got a bad energy on you, Haas. Anyway, we're going to keep winning. We're going to keep bringing in banks. How many banks we got to name? Bank of America, Santander, QNB, Tajari Wafa, all the corridors in Europe. We're doing 19 different countries using us in Europe now to go back and forth, send money back and forth to Africa. That's only going to grow. This is just where we're starting. How much do we have to win, Haas? But for some reason, even though governments are working with us, governments are working with XRP, governments are working with XLM, governments are working with XDC, even little XDC. They haven't been around that long. Haas, do you have the same accomplishments as those coins? Does ADA? Does ADA have those same accomplishments, those same partnerships signed on the dotted line? So who are we supposed to believe? The governments and central banks that says XRP is damn near priceless. XLM, Algorand, so Algorand is being used in Italy. They just had major announcements. Are we supposed to listen to these banks, central banks, commercial banks, private banks, governments, and on and on? Are we supposed to listen to you? Just a bitter man who has run afoul of everyone that he's dealt with almost. Ethereum, you're not there anymore. Hedera, you're attacking them. Ripple, you're attacking them. How many people have you attacked? Who are we supposed to listen to, Haas? All right. And Hoskinson's face on the Grinch. And then I was thinking about that song, the Grinch song, but I was imposing his name, Haas. You're a mean one, Mr. Haas. This is from cryptodaily.co.uk, and it's titled, Crypto Can Still Improve Financial System, says ex-SEC chair. This is an ex-member of the SEC chair. The chair, that sounds funny. Even amidst the current chaos and collapses that are permeating the crypto industry, not the bank coins. That's why he can say this. Everyone else, they're having those problems. Even new scams popping up. The staking scam. I read an article about some staking scam on XRP or XRPL. I don't know. I don't involve myself in these silly little things. I just read about them. Crypto has found an unlikely ally. It's not unlikely. These people have always known what's coming. They just lied to you in the beginning to get you out of there. They got a lot of people out of there. They did their job. And now that it's close to the switch being flipped and the new financial system literally having to be instituted, they don't have to lie anymore. They don't have to lie anymore. You didn't see the articles the other day exposing Kevin O'Leary? No shade on him, but just as an example, where he said at one point, it was like in 1 year, he said Bitcoin is trash. And then the next year he said, I bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin. And that was, he said he did it the year that he said he bought it was the year before he said Bitcoin was trash. You see how they do? They play these games. You you have to make your own decisions. That's why I always tell you, make up your own mind. Don't trust these individuals. You have to do your own research and trust what you find, make your own decisions and be content with the decisions that you make. You can't trust these individuals. They will lie to you to move you this way or that. So now let's continue on here. Crypto has found an unlikely ally in the former head of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Jay Clayton. Oh, is that so? While crypto is being scorned and maligned to the heavens, okay, over the sequence of large exchange collapses, they were always going to collapse. Not only were they doing themselves in, but they also had outside forces attacking them as well. But crypto being very ignorant and arrogant, because they made a lot of millions and billions very early on, a lot of these heads of exchanges, they became greedy. Greed is the fall of most of the individuals that make it to the top. Pride comes before the fall. Greed is right there. Greed and pride are hand in hand. So they were always going to collapse. It says Clayton is receiving some negative press over his remarks, and a pro-blockchain op-ed of his that was published in the Wall Street Journal was also deplored by several commentators. That's unbelievable. See how they're even going against this guy. Good. Welcome to the team. Prepare to run the gauntlet. They're coming for you. Clayton tenure not kind to crypto. Of course not. Not then. Because the goal was to get everybody out. Eliminate the other crypto. That's what they always wanted. They only want the bank coins. Goes on to say Clayton now a crypto insider. So why is Clayton talking up now, right now, since leaving office? Because they know it's so close. Listen, the Bank of International Settlements has been pressuring all the banks to speed up their CBDC timeline. Then the Ripple case is almost over. Once the Ripple case is over, the bank coins have clarity. This is not just XRP. All their use cases are so similar. What sense would it make to go to court with them when they're so similar to what Ripple does, and the protocol are so similar? XLM, XRP, come on now. It doesn't make sense. But I mean, they could do it. Don't get me wrong. SEC has been very irrational and very illogical. They could do it, but it wouldn't make a lot of logical sense to do it. So I'm going to assume that they won't. Once XRP wins, once Ripple wins, it's my humble belief, and I could be wrong, but it's my humble belief that the bank coins have clarity. Boom. So many partnerships will be announced. It will be mind-blowing. And that alone could cause FOMO. And a lot of the bank coin heads, if you look at like Donnell Dixon, Brad Garlinghouse, they're ready to make the big announcements. They haven't made the big announcements yet. You can go by things that they say. Look at what Donnell Dixon has been saying, indicating that there's bigger announcements to come. Like this whole aid thing that Stellar is doing, which is great and definitely going to bring some volume. Every wallet has to hold a modicum of lumens. All the congestion causes surge pricing. That price of XLM can go up. I'm not saying it's going to. It will take time, but it can go up. But that's just a taste. They're just giving you a sample of what's to come. You think if the United Nations is using Stellar, someone else is not? Ukraine is using Stellar for their CBDC? The oldest bank in Europe is using Stellar? You think that's where it stops? When literally anybody can build on Stellar? No. This is barely a beginning, I would say. But I'm just giving an example. Okay, that's just an example. Look, my goodness. I got a lot of catching up to do. I got a lot of work to do. Let's go to another article here. Here's Ripple's CTO's reply to Cardano founder on XRP's lack of technical value. Of course, we already addressed this guy here, Mr. Angry Hostile Hos, Mr. Charles Hoskinson himself, Hostile Hos. Let's see what David Schwartz is. He wouldn't see and this is another thing. A lot of people who they glorify themselves. They raise themselves up to this godly level in their own minds, while acting and behaving very ignorantly and uncouth, exhibiting uncouth-like behavior before everyone else. They don't dare challenge another brilliant mind because they might get exposed. So Hostile Hos will argue with everyone, but watch what happens when David Schwartz tweets at him. Says Ripple CTO David Schwartz, he's a bully. Hostile Hos he's become like a bully. Ripple CTO David Schwartz responded to Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson rhetoric that XRP provided no partnership and lacked technical value. He's just saying that to try to hurt the XRP army, like I said, which he is not. We're too strong. That has no effect on us. We've been through hell. That has no effect on us. And we keep marching forward and we keep signing up banks. Meanwhile, what's ADA doing? Anybody gonna look? I can respect some of the things that ADA did, especially with Scan Trust as a traceability protocol. But is anybody really trading your ADA for, your XRP for ADA? What would you rather have, XRP or ADA? I know I'm preaching to the choir. I shouldn't even ask that, but I'm just saying, just to put out that idea. Like, it's ridiculous to even think such a thing. There's no governments praising ADA. Hey, he built a monument to himself. The people are going to tear it down. It's like that ancient saying. There was an ancient saying, and it goes something like this. I would rather have the people ask why I have no monument than ask why I have one. Then there's another one that's similar to that. It's, if you build a monument to yourself, the people will tear it down. But if you allow the people to build you a monument, it will last for a long time. Hostile Host does not understand that. But let's continue on here. It says, David Schwartz responded to Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson's rhetoric that XRP provided no partnership and lacked technical value, and that he was ending his relationship with the project as a result. That's strange wording. What relationship does he have? He's just running his mouth. You know, he wants to be a superstar. He wants to run his podcast. He wants to be recognized and praised and stuff like that. And the people just aren't having it. You know, come off your high horse a little bit and actually just be a person. Just and do your job. Concentrate on Cardano. That's it. You're doing everything but that. You want to be cool. You want to be popular. You have no focus. It is what it is. This is my humble opinion. The Ripple CTO asked the Cardano creator to reconsider his stance, requiring him to read his tweet back in a few more days and be sure that that was what he wanted to say. The Cardano founder still replied, no comment. Of course, you're not going to go against David Schwartz because you're going to get slaughtered. You only want to go against people you feel that you're above. You feel that way. And while you were throwing your punches and running your mouth and talking trash, it was all good. But when the XRP army struck back at you, because this is war. If you engage in with war, there's no rules in war, sir. There's no rules in war. And they came against you. Just a few Spartans came against you. And you ran crying. It's okay for you to throw spears, but when they threw spears back, you ran crying, oh no, they're coming after me. Then you used the notorious word, they're toxic. They're toxic? You went against Hedera. Constantly you were trashing them when they were bringing in major partnerships. I have a bunch of tabs for a members only video about Hedera, about the banks that they're working with. And that's just the banks. You were trashing them the entire time. You go against Ethereum any chance you get, at least from what I've seen over the years that I've been involved in crypto. And now you're after Ripple for some reason. It has nothing to do with you. They have nothing to do with you. You don't have control of your mouth, control over your mind. You're on automated. You're like it's unbelievable. Sometimes to see such intelligence wasted, becoming like an automaton where your mouth is running. You're not in control of yourself. Low vibrations, brother. Low vibrations. Better reach out to Old Man Crypto or something. I'm telling you, my subscribers will make sure you're okay and you're set up. You know, better reach out to somebody like that. Tell you about those vibrations. Get your energies correct. Calm down. Stretch a little bit. A little boxing, maybe. Some good frequencies, right? Let's continue on here. Let's move on from this. Move on from that. Bunch of nonsense we don't need to pay attention to anyway. We're just going to keep going forward. Here's another article, cryptodaily.co.uk. Shout out to all my people in the UK. Shout out to my people everywhere. In the West, in the East, in the South of the world, North. I love all my people, man. All my people. Hope you're all doing well, by the way. UAE property developer to enable property purchases via crypto. It has begun, I told you. In the Mena region. Who's deep in the Mena region we've been covering? Ripple's deep in the Mena region. Stellar's deep in the Mena region. Who else? Hedera is deep. Smell the money. Hedera is deep in the Mena region to the point where they took a picture with the royals. That's how deep Hedera is. H-bar. And they're moving fast. They're moving fast to institute the new financial system. And here you have it, UAE, property developer to enable property purchases. This is just where all of this is going. This is just where their NFT is beginning. Their NFT journey is beginning. Tokenization of gold. And I'm talking about the mass movement of gold. Backing currencies with it or using it outright. I'm talking about that. Oil. They have a whole lot of that. Tokenization of oil. Maybe backing their currency with oil. Using the value of oil. You don't have to actually, you can use that value just how you use like gold bricks that sit inside somebody else's vault, but you're using that value outright. You store your value in that gold brick, but you don't actually have to have it delivered to you. You can, but you can still extract that value. You have your gold card or whatever card, if you have one of those types of things, and you use that value outright. And then the gold bar remains, but it was purchased by somebody else and your value goes to wherever it is. You liquidated that for whatever it is that you wanted to acquire. You can do the same thing with oil or anything. Silver, whatever. I think there's a big possibility that that type of activity could be something major in the future. I could be wrong, but it seems things are headed that way. This is huge. I think XRP Hedera or Stellar is going to dominate when it comes to something like this. This is why it caught my eye. They've been constantly in the Mena region. It says MAG, the leading real estate developer in the United Arab Emirates, has entered into an agreement with Mena to facilitate the real estate purchases using cryptocurrencies in an effort to accelerate the growth in Dubai's new economy. Mena, a leading crypto asset service provider in the Middle East and North Africa, Mena, to allow real estate purchases using cryptocurrencies. I wonder which cryptos they're talking about here. Now, they're going to begin with, let me tell you something. They're always going to mention stablecoins. That's not where it's going to end. Because big money people, I don't see them using USDC or USDT. Do you? Absolutely not. I don't see it. Not in the future. This is like, there's like a two-tiered thing where there's going to be a lower. I said this in one of my videos a long time ago. Theoretically, if you're going to have stablecoin offerings, you can't have just $1. Is that how legal tender works? You go into a store, you paying for something that's $2,000, $20,000, you just pull out a stack of $1 bills? No, that's not efficient. You would have to have a stable coin for $1, a stable coin for $5, a stable coin for $10. And we're talking like US dollars, right? That's how the paper money works, right? And they say that, what did they say? They said stable coins are a complement, not a replacement for, a complement to cash, right? They would have to have a stable coin for $20. They would have to have a stable coin for $100. So where's those? Where are those? So stable coins just begin and end, you believe. They just begin and end with a $1 peg offering. Why aren't there $20 peg offerings? Now, maybe somebody has some elaborate answer or such like that. I'm just saying that there's the possibility. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but there's a possibility. They're not using dollar USDC, USDT. I honestly believe that with the coming age of gold and anything that's backed by something solid, some solid resource, I'm not even sure if that particular iteration of like just fiat backed stable coins is going to exist at that time. Things are going to have to change. They're going to have to evolve dramatically because the world is changing. So what you're seeing right now is just the iteration that fits the time period now, but it can change. They've showed you how easily they can manipulate and reprogram and change things around, right? $100 stable coin. I wonder. There'll be higher ones as well. When you're talking about interbank payments, let's take XRP as an example that specializes in interbank payments. That has to be a high price. It has to be a very high price for interbank payments or it's not efficient. It's not efficient. You can't have it to be a tiny little low price. It can't. David Schwartz said the same thing. It's not logical. So now let's move on to here. So this was a tweet by Algorand, and it's titled, this is from entrepreneur.com, okay? It was a retweet by Algorand on Twitter. And it's titled, 9 India-based companies presented at this year's Decipher conference held by Algorand in the ultimate crypto hub of Dubai. Look how everybody's getting deep and into the Mena region, rubbing shoulders with big money in big money regions, in regions that are going to dominate in the future. So let's scroll down here. It says 9 India-based companies who are utilizing the Algorand blockchain to support their Web3 products were present and featured at Algorand Foundation's Decipher conference held at Madinat Jumeirah, Dubai on, these particular dates. It says featured companies from Algo Barat ecosystem, which were present at Decipher 2022, include Contrato, Dapps.cp, Dignify, Eco India Financial Services. Keep an eye on that. Fragments, Calga Labs, Infiction, NFTverse, Norwegians, and Weeze, or Wise. Is that Wise? I'm sorry about that. Mispronounced that. Contrato, the world's first KYC embedded contraction solution powered by blockchain smart contract, aims to provide small and medium businesses and startups with the next generation of business transactions through its decentralized financial model. Dapps.co is accelerating the future of decentralized apps through its app store. Dignify, a DeFi protocol that delivers digital asset liquidity. Liquidity to small, medium business focused credit fintechs. If anytime I hear liquidity in Algorand, oh my word. Look at Algorand circulating supply for a bank coin. It ain't bad. Did you see how it moved in the last bull market? That was off retail. Imagine providing liquidity to any business. Oh my word. But let's keep going. Eco India Financial Services, an already established Indian fintech company, enables digital products brands to easily tap and collect digital payments. That's a lot of volume. Could grow into some good value. We'll see, we'll see. Give it a chance, let it develop. Digital payments from their clients through their unique platform, featuring deeply embedded in the community micro entrepreneurs. So it says the past 15 years have seen Eco service over 50 million, that's a good volume, customers through their network of over 300,000 micro entrepreneurs. Through leveraging the advantages of blockchain, Eco is looking to democratize access to services. There's a lot of good projects here. All in all, Algorand is dominating, doing an absolutely amazing job, great job. Sorry, I'm looking down because I'm like reading the rest of these articles while I'm talking to see if there's anything else that I'd like to extract from this. Eco co-founder Abhinav Sinha appeared alongside leaders from Visa, Flex Fintechs, Agro Token. Visa is everywhere. Watch out for Visa. Remember, Visa was utilizing Stellar via Tala. We got to get an update on Tala. See what's going on. Maybe they're doing good. Maybe they're not. I don't know. We got to get an update on them. But Visa is involved in a lot of things. Remember also Visa integrated with FIS. They haven't fully been utilizing that yet. They haven't tapped into that yet. FIS is on whose governing board? Hedera's. They haven't been, none of the new financial system has been fully utilized just yet. If it was, and if it were being fully utilized, first of all, you need all the banks. You need a ton of banks already signed up in the network, ready to go off at the same time to utilize that network for interbank payments directly and to have that liquidity where it needs to be for those giant interbank payments. But if indeed that system went off at any time, the switch was flipped because that price would skyrocket. Logically so. The amount in value that would be floating across those blockchains and the volume, the high volume, because it would be consistent. It'd be like this. That price wouldn't have a chance to come down. It's like a lot of my peers say. It would seem like it's going up, and it would for a while theoretically. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Theoretically, it would seem like it's never going to come down. That's where you get the idea of the stable coin. I've been talking about this since last year. So then you have this article here. It's from the, actually it's a retweet. Sorry about that. It's from the Blockchain Association. It was retweeted by Stellar. And it says, crypto is here for good. Now, when they say crypto, they're always giving you examples of utilizing the bank coins every time. Every time. You know why that is. says the UN is sending displaced Ukrainians USDC to convert into local currencies made possible by Stellar org. Stellar is very strategic. They know why they're doing this for a reason. When you come in, whether it's a guise or not, because they're actually doing good, which I'm happy about. But it's like a protective shield when you do these things. Now it's not so easy for regulatory entities or bad actors to come after you, because you're already beloved by United Nations, by people on the ground that are receiving, let's say, USDC. Never forget XLM, and for every wallet that runs on Stellar, every wallet must hold a modicum of lumens. Transaction fees paid in lumens. Congestion, good congestion, causes surge pricing. That means the price of XLM could theoretically go up. They never said there was a cap on that. And the more lumens that you use actually when you're sending things, or the more that value that you're sending across chain, the more you get priority during congestion. So on Stellar, it's incentivized that at some point, it's incentivized that entities send more value. And it becomes easier because you're prioritized to ensure your stuff is always going through first and at maximum speed. I mean, look, go read the white papers for yourself. That's what I gather from them, right? And I read them a myriad of times. But yes, so they're sort of putting on this goodness armor where it will make it very difficult for individuals to come after them. How do you come after them and then stop these people from receiving their aid? You see? You see? I don't know if I put that so eloquently, but I think you get what I'm saying. It reads here, the cool thing with Stellar Aid Assist is that any wallet application that supports sending and receiving Stellar assets can integrate with the Stellar disbursement platform in the future. Any wallet, right? And then Stellar also specializes in you can issue any assets that you want on the Stellar blockchain. Here's the problem. A lot of assets, as you're seeing now, are easily rendered illiquid. Easily rendered illiquid. XLM provides liquidity for otherwise illiquid assets. At some point, in order for Stellar blockchain to continue to function properly, when there's mass volume, mass congestion, if at some point in the future it reaches that, theoretically, at some point in the future, that XLM price will have to go up in order to provide liquidity. You can't have an XLM at an extremely low price and it provide liquidity with what value? It has to go higher. That's where the liquidity comes from the value that's poured into it. The price will have to go up at some point. I'm assuming that a lot of projects that would do that are waiting on regulatory clarity. That's what I would assume. Who knows when that's going to be? So now let's go on here. So Quant is doing this end of the year recap series where they point out things that were important that Quant was speaking about earlier in the year. And they wanted to reiterate cybersecurity and risk considerations, especially when it comes to CBDCs. And I think that this was definitely a proper rehashing of what they were saying before, or a topic to bring up again, because in the summertime, there were a lot of articles written on quantum computing coming and being a major problem for all computing systems, because quantum computers, especially if you combine them with AI, a high level AI, there's almost nothing that they can't crack. There's almost nothing they can't hack. And then you had what? You had Algorand come out and say, we're quantum proof. Remember, they quantum proof themselves? Then you had Hedera come out. I think maybe Hedera came out first and said they were quantum proof. So Quant's letting them know, hey, cybersecurity is not just about hackers, right? Like the modern day hackers and such. It's about those future systems like quantum computing that can crack anything. Nothing will be safe. But hey, over here at Quant, Hedera, Algorand, and I'm not sure if Quant is quantum proof, but I'm pretty sure because they're working with the banks, they will be, just like Hedera, just like Algorand. And I think Ripple had something they were talking about when it came to quantum computing as well, like quantum proofing themselves. But I'm not sure if they actualized that, or that was something that was going to be occurring in the future. That I'm not sure. I have to look into that a little bit more to see what the results of that were. They still have some time. Like, quantum computers not where they need to be just now. They're still being worked on, but we knew, we were covering it extensively last year. IBM, who was working on unbelievable quantum computers at the time, that they were working on the stellar-based blockchain system that they were running over there, right? So we covered it a little bit, but they still have a ways to go. So some of the bank coins who have not declared quantum proofing, they still have some time. And I think like maybe it was XDC that came out and said they have military grade security. I'm assuming that that encompasses quantum proofing yourselves. That's what I'm going to assume. Because I'm going to assume that the military is quantum proof. There's no way I believe that the military is not quantum proof. I hope that they are. I really do. So going by that logic, because the military is typically ahead of everyone else when it comes to technology, I'll say that XDC is probably quantum proof. But before I really pin myself to that, I'll wait for them to make to give clarity on that. Okay. But that's why they wanted to release this, in my humble opinion. Because the banks are already getting hacked. They just don't report on it a lot. But if you do digging, you'll find out the banks are hacked all the time. A lot of times they don't even know about it until it's too late. But the banks are good at controlling information. So you never hear about the things that they do wrong. Just like the Bank of International Settlements told you, there's a lot of stuff that, money things that go on that are not included in their data sheets. They told you that. We covered it. I think we covered it in the members only section. One of those videos. They also don't report the hacks. And no mainstream media is going to go against the people that pay their salaries. They're not going to do it. The banks have power. You already saw that, right? You saw how they can manhandle people and shut them down. So the people don't want that. So they don't report on it. You don't hear about it. But because of that, this is a situation where Quant is sort of taking the Tupac stance. Like, they're saying to the banks, you and I know what's going on. That's what they're saying. And the banks do. They're saying, yeah, we'd like to not have that money stolen because we need more money to play around with. We want to explode and thrive in the future. The banks are doing bad right now. I'm going to let you know, especially because of that fiat system. They're in jeopardy, big time jeopardy. They have a fiat currency and the rest of the world is moving to a commodity-based system, gold, oil, whatever they want to do. It would be better. Anything literally would be better than a nothing system, a fantasy system. So they're in trouble. Anybody back to the rest of the world joins BRICS nations, and a lot of them have. You should type up and do a search for new BRICS nation applicants. Shock you. A lot of powerful entities coming together. They all start backing their currencies with something. That dollar plummets. Then your bank is worth what? Your fiat is worth what? So the banks are in trouble. They're looking. They need this. They need this new financial system. Now let's continue on here to another article. Little oil news. Let's do a little bit of oil news. The U.S., this is from the BengalUruLive.com. U.S. poised to become net exporter of crude oil in 2023. Well, they have to. I said this before. Because of the sanctions and such, and now you have like price caps on oil. Russia's not going along with it. So now certain countries are not going to get the amount of oil that they need. Then certain pipelines, I'm not sure if they're working yet or not. There's so much confusion going on that those countries over there in Europe can't get what they need. A lot of allies of the United States can't get what they need. So now the United States has to render to them the crude oil so that they can survive. Because they got into the trouble because of the United States. So this makes perfect sense in my humble opinion. So the United States has become a global crude oil exporting power over the last years, but not by choice. Well, it's by choice, but at the same time, the effects were inadvertent because they thought that their sanctions would be a be-all, end-all because they were in the past, but they're not anymore. But exports have not exceeded its imports since World War II. That tells you a lot, doesn't it? That could change next year. So a lot of things are happening. We definitely live in interesting times. Let's continue on here. Crypto. This is from coinedition.com. Crypto addresses depositing stable coins soars to record levels. They're getting ready. Everyone knows something is coming. An altcoin season, maybe. Regulatory clarity. The ending of that Ripple case would send the bank coins exploding. The people want a piece of that. They know. They play ignorant because they like to play that elitist game. Like, you know how the elites lie to you and they tell you Bitcoin is trash. Meanwhile, they bought all the Bitcoins, right? Well, a lot of people have taken on that mentality. They don't want to talk about certain coins like the bank coins. They don't want to report on them. They don't want to make videos on them, but they're ready. They have some, they have a bag, but they're waiting just in case it doesn't happen. They're not in too deep, but if it happens, they can jump in. They know the Ripple case is close to being over. They said February or March, and of course, those timelines can change. But just in case, they want to be ready to jump in. They don't want to miss this boat because they read the partnerships. They see the banks, the governments. So they're going to, and they're used to this, keeping money in stable coins, which is very risky. It's pegged to a fiat, you know, but this is what they do just to be ready. I'm assuming it's money that they play with. Well, not just play money. This is not money that's going to be detrimental to them if they're going to lose it or, you know, it's money on the side just in case. I get that. I understand that. So on that level, I understand that. Right. But if it's money you're saving, stable coins is a little bit risky. Let me tell you that. I get in a low on some gold and let that value hold. You understand? Gold holds its value the best historically if you're saving. Right. But like I said, this is probably just play money. But that's why I would think that crypto addresses depositing stable coins are soaring. They're getting ready. They're getting ready. And if we have a positive outcome to that case, like I said, boom. So now let's end off here with a little bit of gold news. A little bit of gold news, okay? So it says here, this is from shiftgold.com. And it's titled, Silver Registered Ratio Falls 11.1%. Lowest in 22 years. Silver is very special, but let's start here with this gold news. Gold is seeing its first increase in registered inventory since April. That said, over December, there has been a mild net increase in metal in COMEX vaults of 100,000 ounces. According to COMEX reports, there are over 11 million ounces of gold in the registered category. If so much metal is readily available for delivery, why are market participants moving metal from eligible to registered? The short answer, there are not 11 million ounces standing ready for delivery. Most of it is listed there for optics, which was put in place shortly after the stress in the COMEX system that occurred back in March 2020. That makes some sense, I guess. Since the start of the December contract, the amount pledged has been steadily increasing. This essentially inflates registered by the amount shown below. Another tool to make the registered category look bigger than it is, right? I'm only concerned with the price, truth be told. It's been doing well. Go up or down, it's been doing well. The setup, the catalyst for the future and gold's explosion, possible explosion in price is beautiful right now, unless catalysts tell me different. That's my primary interest. The holding of value, we got in at a low, perfectly fine there. And certain catalysts in the future, given all these worldly events and the possibility that people will retreat to gold as a store of value to protect their value, that will cause an explosion in price. So everything is looking good on that path as of now. So then let's go to silver. The supply of silver has been shrinking even more rapidly than gold. The drainage since the start of the year has been nothing short of spectacular. 48.5 million ounces have left registered since January the 1st. That represents more than 50% of the balance of 82 million ounces last December the 31st. So listen, I'm not sure if this is going to connect with why silver is going down, but I'll put this out there. Silver is being used in so many different ways. That's number one. All your solar panels, silver. You need silver in there. All your cars, your electric cars, need some silver, a lot of silver actually. So people know that. So I would think that wise people are buying up a ton of silver while it's low. Then when it becomes rare and it's still going to be needed in those industries, that price is going to rise because it became more rare, but it's still desired heavily. That price is going to explode. People could make a ton of money off of that silver. This is why everybody that's in the know is salivating over silver if the catalysts remain. So like I said, I don't know that that's the reason why here, but in the future, silver could be major. It could explode in price because of that. And especially as they're coming out with more and more of these electric vehicles, they're pushing more and more solar power. You're going to need more silver because silver is a great, correct me if I'm wrong, silver is an amazing conductor. Just putting that out there. Hey, you have that information, what you're going to do with it? So what you do with it is up to you. You got to make your own decisions. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.